Good morning, kiddos. Hope y'all are having a great day today. We are going to move on to our next learning target, which is I can graph quadratics that are given in standard form. So for our notes today, let's scoot up and see if we can see me a little bit more. There we go. We can title those graphing, and standard. Okay, so a standard form, we've already learned vertex form, but standard form of a quadratic is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So our problems will be given in this format. We'll have an A, a B, and a C. This might look familiar. We haven't learned it yet in this class, but if you know anything at all about the quadratic formula, we'll learn that maybe next unit, I think. But this is where that comes from, so if that doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. But we're really trying to find, the first thing we're going to do is find the vertex. And so this one is not as straightforward as our vertex formula. So what we have to do first is we have to find the axis of symmetry. So if we remember from when we were doing graphing in vertex form, the x coordinate of your vertex is the same as the axis of symmetry for that whole parabola. So the way that you find that is x equals negative b over 2a. So you might want to make a note to yourself that also the x value of vertex. Okay, so if you have your x value, when we find our axis of symmetry, we're going to plug that in and we're going to find our y. So essentially, to find vertex, you solve for x, plug in to get y. And then once you have your vertex, you're going to plug in points. Plug in points to the equation. I cannot with this camera. So I'm going to go this way. There we go. Plug in the equation. Plug points into the equation, and then we're going to graph. So it's pretty similar to the stuff we did when we did vertex graphing or vertex form graphing, just a little bit different. So for example, if we are given y equals negative x squared plus 2x plus 5. We first have to find our axis of symmetry. So it's going to be x equals negative b. So my b value is the number that's attached to just the x. So here my b value is 2. So it's going to be a negative 2 over 2 times a. A is the coefficient that goes with your x squared. Ours is a negative 1. So we're going to simplify that and we'll get negative 2 over negative 2. So that means my x value is going to be 1. So now that I have my x value, I have to find my y value. So I'm going to have y equals negative 1 squared plus 2 times 1 plus 5. You would plug that into your calculator, making sure you're using your parentheses when you need to, and that's going to give you y equals 6. So that means my vertex for this one is 1, 6. So we'll make our little graph. And we're just going to sketch this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our vertex is 1 up 6. And our A is negative. So we learned if our A is negative, that means it's going to be opening downwards. So essentially, I'm going to want, this is my axis of symmetry, remember. Just kind of help myself estimate where some things might be. So I'm going to want to make an XY table. And I'm going to put my vertex in the middle, so I'll have 1, 6. We'll do 0, -1, and 2. Yeah, we'll start there. So what we're going to do is we have our x's, we need to find our y's. So we'll have y equals -0 squared plus 2 times 0 plus 5, and that's going to equal 5. So if the 0 equals 5, since our axis is symmetry, that means this is also going to equal 5. And then we'll do the same thing for -1. We type all that into our calculator and we're going to get 2. So since this is 2, this is also going to be 2. Because of our axis of symmetry. This is the middle. So essentially if we fold this table in over itself, or we fold our graph, we're going to lay flat. We've talked about that before. So then we're going to graph. We're going to have 0, 5. We're going to have 2, 5. We'll have -1, 2, and we'll have 3, 2. So it would look something like that. And then our min would be our minimum is going to be our our maximum is going to be our vertex point, so it's going to be 1, 6. And let's see, our range is going to be our range is going to be y is less than or equal to 6, and there is no minimum because it's going down forever. Let me get another sheet of paper real quick. I already brought some. So let's try another. Let's say we're given y equals -x squared plus 10x minus 21. First thing we're going to do is find that axis of symmetry. So x equals -b, so -10 over 2 times -1, -10 over -2, which is going to give me 5. So for my vertex, my x coordinate is 5, so to get my y, I'm going to plug that in. And when I do plug that in, I'm going to get 4. So this is my vertex. My axis of symmetry is 5. So you would write your axis of symmetry as x equals 5. And then if we just wanted to sketch this graph, we would 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'd be at 5, 4. Our axis of symmetry is here. And our A is negative, so we know it's opening downwards. So we'd have something that's going like this. So this is, again, is just a sketch. But if I was asked to actually find the points, I'd make my XY table, put my vertex in the middle, and then I would do 4, 6, 3, and 7 to start. And let's see, I did some of this on my paper and my notes. So if I did 4, I got 3. So 4 is 3, 6 is 3. And if I plugged in 3, I got 0. So x equals 7 is also going to be 0. So remember to get these points, like for example, for the 6, I have y equals -6 squared plus 10 times 6 minus 21. And that's going to equal 3. And due to my axis of symmetry being here, if this one's 3, this one's going to be 3. And since this one is 0, this one's going to be 0. So, Well, actually, never mind, doesn't apply to that. Okay, so this is just a rough sketch, what I drew here. These are the actual points that are on the parabola, and this is what we're going to have to find in our Delta Math assignment. So something I want to define real quick that I've mentioned before, but just to kind of put it in our notes, is the idea of roots. So roots is a fancy word for solutions. And when you're looking at graphs, solutions are where your graph crosses the x-axis. So essentially you're looking for x-intercepts. Okay, so let me hop on over to Delta Math and show you your assignment. Oop, that's not the tab I thought it was. Here we go. So the first part of the assignment is axis of symmetry and vertex. So we're not really worried about graphing just yet. So it'll tell us on the problem. Find the coordinates of the vertex of the following parabola algebraically. Write your answer as a coordinate point. So it's going to give you a quadratic in standard form, and you're going to use that x equals negative b over 2a to find your x value, and then plug it in and find our y. So we've been doing that the whole time in our notes, but this is just focusing on that part. It's not focusing on the graphing just yet. So we're going to show our solution, and we're going to have x equals negative b. So you all don't have the show you solution button, by the way. X equals negative b over 2a. So we're going to have negative 2 over 2 times 1. We're going to get x equals 1. So like we did before, we're going to plug that in and see what we get for our y. And we get negative 7. So our vertex is 1 comma negative 7. And that's what you put in the Delta Math for your answer. So if it doesn't ask for the coordinates of the vertex, it's also going to ask for the axis of symmetry. So it's going to give you a parabola, and you're going to be asked to find what x equals. So you just do your negative b over 2a, excuse me, and then you're going to get x equals 2 for this one. So this is what you would type into Delta Math. So the first part is just practice getting you used to using that negative b over 2a formula and practice plugging stuff in because we're a little rusty at that. And then the second part is where we're actually graphing. So graph the equation on the accompanying set of axes. You must plot 5 points, including the roots and the vertex. That's why I brought up the term roots. So we're going to do this one. We're going to try doing it this way. Let's see. Oh, wait. Why can't I write? Oh, there we go. Cool. Okay. So we want to first find, you must answer all questions in order to submit. Okay. So we're going to have x equals negative b, so negative 14 over 2 times 1. So we're going to simplify that down, and we're going to get our x value as 7. So we're going to plug 7 into our formula. Where's my calculator? We're going to plug 7 in, and we're going to get 7 squared minus 14 times 7 plus 48 is going to give me negative 1. So this is going to be my vertex. 7, negative 1. We know it's going to be opening upwards, so that's good. So I want to be close to 7 to check for those roots. So I'm going to check, I'm going to make my XY table. And I'm going to have 7, negative 1 here. Let's check 6 and 8. So I do expect you all to be doing this work in your notebook. Bring it with you to class so I can check it and I can see that you're actually doing your work and you're not cheating. But I'm just going to do it in the calculator real quick for purposes of it's really hard to write with my mouse. So we're going to do 6 squared minus 14 times 6 plus 48. That's going to give me 0. So if the 6 is 0, the 8 is also going to be 0. So whenever you're looking for roots, you're looking for your y value to be 0. And since our x is squared, that means, we'll learn this a little bit later, but that means that I'm going to have 2 real solutions. So 1, 2, I found my roots. So, but I still need 5 points. So I'm going to check 5 and I'm going to check 9. So I'm going to plug in 5. I'm going to have 5 squared minus 14 times 5 plus 48 is going to give me 3. So if this is 3, that means the 9 is also going to be 3 due to that axis of symmetry. So then I'm going to go over here and plot my points. So I'm going to have 6, 0. I'm going to have 8, 0. I'm going to have 5, 3. I'm going to have 9, 3. Oh, see, it automatically plots it for me. And then I can hit submit answer, and we're going to hit yes. And we got a big check mark. So here it gives you the table of values in case you get it wrong. You can check to see where you might have messed up. And this is all you're doing. They plotted a few more points than 5, which is totally fine. But like right here for 5, you plug in 5 to this, and it spit out a 3. And because this is a 3, that means this is going to be a 3, so on and so forth. So yeah, that is the long and the short of graphing in standard form. So if I remember correctly when I'm making this video, today is just a video day. We'll be doing practice and stuff tomorrow, so make sure that you take your notes, bring them with you. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. If you have any missing work, please get that in and shoot me an email when it's finished. All right, I'll see you guys when I see you. Bye.